Imagine being trapped deep down inside of a cold, dark canyon, your right arm pinned up against the hard walls by an 800-pound boulder for 6 days with hardly any food or water. Well, that's what happened to 35-year-old Aron Ralston. Aron was born on October 27, 1975 in the United States of America. Aron's very favorite thing to do was travel the great outdoors. In April 2003, Aron was hiking along Blue John Canyon when he came to a deep, narrow, dark crevasse. As I said, Aron loved to explore the outdoors whenever he had the opportunity, so he went down into the canyon to explore. While Aron was exploring the canyon, something terrible had happened. Aron was attempting to climb up on top of the canyon, but before he knew it, his right arm had been pinned up against the hard canyon walls by an 800-pound boulder. Aron could not move. He was stuck. He had 3 options. Option 1, he could chisel at the rock and hopefully break free. He tried that for 24 hours and got nowhere. Option 2, he could wait until someone came and found him. But he was in such a remote area that the chances of that happening were 1 in a million. Or option 3, he could amputate his own arm. What do you think you would do? Would you cut your own arm off to save your life? Could you? That's what Aron bravely chose to do, with nothing but a dull pocket knife and a pair of tweezers. Now, if that's not heroic, I don't know what it is. Aron Ralston is a true hero. Just a couple of months ago, I was sitting at home watching Aron's biography on my TV, and the minute I heard what he had done to save his life, I was totally inspired. To me, it sounds like he's trying to say, never give up. He didn't stop trying until he got his freedom. I know now that in my life, if I ever feel like I can't handle or cope with something, I'll think back to what Aron did, and I know I'll be able to get through anything. His experience has also taught me that we all often worry or complain about the small things in life, and that we need to focus on what's really important. Living life to its fullest and really appreciating the gift of life. As Aron was stuck, he realized that he had disobeyed one of the main rules of the outdoors, and that is to always tell someone when you're about to do something by yourself. This is a great lesson to learn. I urge everyone here to tell an adult or a friend when you're about to do something by yourself. I also urge you to accept things in life and believe what Aron Ralston proved. Life is the most precious thing you have. Thank you.
Good morning, judges, teachers, guests, and fellow contestants. I now ask you to imagine being kicked out of the seat on the bus because of your race. Unfortunately, Rosa Parks had to endure this devastating situation, but she didn't give in. In this speech, I'll tell you about her early years, her refusal to move, the boycott, and her death and funeral. Rosa Parks was born as Rosa Louise McCulley to her parents James McCulley and Leona Edwards. When she was a small child, she had suffered from bad health. When her parents divorced, she moved with her mother to Pine Level. There she attended school until she had to drop out to care for her aging mother and grandmother. In Rosa Parks' time, Black people and white people were segregated in many aspects of their lives, including public transit. Rosa recalls when she was in Pine Level, the bus took the white children to their school, but not the Black children. After work on one cold December day, December 1st to be exact, Rosa Parks boarded the Cleveland Avenue bus at around 6 o'clock. She sat down in the front row seats for Black people, close to the part reserved for white people. The bus went down its normal route. The all-white spaces were filling out. The bus came to its third stop in front of Empire Theater. A lot of white passengers boarded. The bus driver asked Rosa to move to make room for the white passengers. Rosa remembers the driver saying, "Y'all better make a light of yourselves and let me have the seats." The other two people beside her moved, but she didn't. The bus driver asked her, "Why don't you stand up?" She said, "I don't think I should have to stand up." The bus driver asked her once again. She said, "No, I'm not." His reply, "Well, if you don't stand up, I'm going to have to call police and have you arrested." Her reply, "You may do that." She was arrested. Edie Nixon and Clifford Dorr bailed her out. From that day on, Rosa Parks was made famous by those actions. One evening, 35,000 flyers were made, announcing a bus boycott. They agreed not to go on the buses until treated with courtesy, black drivers were hired, and until seats were handed to people on a first-come, first-served basis. The boycott lasted 351 days. Lots of buses stayed in the sheds because of blacks made up for 75% of all riders. The boycott was one of the biggest movements against segregation. It sparked Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to start the Civil Rights Movement. On November 13, 1956, segregation on buses ended. The seats were now handed to people on a first-come, first-served basis. Rosa died at age 92 in her apartment of natural causes. In her honor, in the front seats of city buses in Montgomery and Detroit, they put black ribbons until her funeral. Her funeral service was 7 hours long and held at the Greater Grace Temple Church in Detroit. Just after her death, they renamed the chapel in which she lays Rosa L. Parks Freedom Chapel. Rosa Parks was called the mother of civil rights, and there's a good reason for calling her that too. As you just heard, Rosa refused to stand up and give up her seat, and by doing that, stood up for her rights. Now that I come to the end of my speech, I want to leave you with a simple question. What would you have done in Rosa Parks' situation? Thank you.
Yes, I can. Alright, so I know what you must be thinking. What in the world is she doing up there? She's blowing it. Well, I can tell you this. From all the symptoms I'm experiencing, from the sweaty palms to the racing heart, all the way to the shaky knees, I guess you could say I have a classic case of stage fright. Now, lucky for me, I'm not alone. 90% of people have a fear of public speaking, and studies show that it's people's number one fear. And number two is death. Wait a second. Does that sound right? So this means to the average person, if you were to go to a funeral, you would rather be in the casket than giving the eulogy? Really, people? What has the world come to? I mean, heck, even the king himself, Elvis Presley, had stage fright. As did Abraham Lincoln and the Queen of Talk, Oprah Winfrey. But did that stop them from doing what they did best? Not a chance. But their stage fright didn't just go away. They had to work on managing it. So how, you ask? Well, here are a few tips between you and me. Managing your stage fright starts before you even step foot on stage. For example, you can start by drinking some orange juice. This helps lower your blood pressure, which calms you down. You can also make sure that you chew some gum. This helps relax your jaw, which helps relax your whole body. But if I could add in a little footnote here, you have to remember to spit your gum out before you start talking. Deep breaths will also help you relax. It tricks the body into thinking that the stress is all gone. Another way to help calm you down is to put on lavender or vanilla lotion. Sorry, boys, your friends might look at you funny, but you'll kick it on the stage. And if you want to make Sir Laurence Olivier proud, you can just do what he did and mutter insults to your audience before you perform. But don't worry, I never do that. Some people have a fear of making eye contact with their audience. But don't worry, there's a cure for that too. You can simply just look at the back wall. It makes the audience think that you're looking at them when you're really not. It makes you wonder, have I been looking at you for the last couple of minutes? never tell. But if all else fails, just imagine the audience in their underwear. Boxers or briefs? Leopard print or floral? Ugh, too graphic.